Hi, Ken Ward from Audison here. And on today's workshop, we're going to talk about getting great sound using your Audison Beacon. Stay tuned. So let's look at the Beacon. You can see we've got a high resolution badge right here. What does that mean? Well, in this case, it means that it was certified by the Japan Audio Society to meet their standards of playback for a high-res signal. Now, the Japan Audio Society is the only company that can actually certify a device as high resolution. You'll sometimes see other companies using similar terms, but that's to try to conceal the fact that they aren't really certified. Now, high res is a little bit complicated, so let me spend a moment explaining this. One of the things that you have to do to meet the high res standard is you have to reach a 40,000 hertz upper frequency limit. Now, most hi-fi equipment for many years has only gone up to 20,000 hertz. So 40,000 hertz is a whole additional octave of sound. You can only get that in certain situations with a Bluetooth device. Bluetooth audio always has to be compatible with a particular codec called SBC. And you can read about this online, but basically SBC is the lowest common denominator. And any device with Bluetooth has it, but it doesn't usually sound very good. Now, when you go to an Android phone, Samsung and Sony are two companies that use a advanced codec called LDAC. Sony actually developed LDAC, if I remember correctly. But what LDAC can do is if it's in its high resolution mode, it can get you a high res signal. We've tested this, we've got the graphs to show you. You can get it with these devices. You can also get it with many digital audio players like the Sony Walkman. Many of the Sony Walkman have LDAC Bluetooth support. Now, what if you don't have an Android phone? What if you have an iPhone? iPhones are the most popular phones in North America. Last time I saw, they're around 55% um, market share. So an iPhone doesn't support LDAC, and an iPhone doesn't actually support any codec as of today that can be literally described as high resolution. However, you can get really, really good sound with a codec that Apple supports called AAC. And the Beacon is one of the only automotive Bluetooth receivers that supports AAC. AAC does sound significantly better than SBC, the lowest common denominator that everybody has to support. So, two things. Number one, if you have an iPhone, you won't get high res out of your iPhone to any device, but you will get the best sound possible with a Beacon. And secondly, if you want to make sure you get high res, if you're an iPhone owner, you're probably going to want to pick up a digital audio player, such as the Sony Walkman, and use it as your high resolution source. So I hope you've been able to follow me through the maze of high res terms here. But whichever way you go, you can get great sound with a Beacon in your system. When you're using DSP with the Beacon, the right way to do it is to run an optical cable, not included, between the Beacon and the bit device that you're using. And that will allow the digital signal to come directly in from the Beacon, go directly into our DSP, and without any conversions, be managed and manipulated as needed by the bit processing engine. So not only do you get clean sound processing when you have a Beacon coming in, you also have really great OEM integration because our DSP system is monitoring, if you've set it up this way, we can monitor the factory system for non-entertainment sounds like rear parking sensor alerts or nav prompts. And we can switch those in to the audio path smoothly as needed if you configure the system that way. So just because you're using the Beacon as your source doesn't mean that you don't get the other sounds your car generates to help you stay in charge of what's going on. So I should also mention something that the Beacon does that's really unusual in the world of Bluetooth. There's a lot of devices out there that'll take a Bluetooth signal and pass it to your amplifier with RCA cables. What a Beacon does is connect with optical, sure, but it also connects with a two-way serial data connection. And that allows us to use on your Bluetooth device the Beacon Go application. And the Beacon Go app allows you to control master volume, it allows you to control subwoofer level, it allows you to select different presets, and it allows you to select different inputs. So even if you're not listening, to the beacon as the source. Because you have a beacon, you can use the app to manage your entire system. And we're the only ones on the market with functionality like this. So check it out. Thanks for listening. Ken Ward from Audison. Appreciate the time. Learn more, head on over to our website at audison.com, and we'll see you down the road.